Welcome to Sam's Stocks, a new video series from the Fireside Bears podcast brought to you by Empire Sports Media. This new video series is going to be highlighting some of the pros and cons, some of the positives and the negatives from each previous Bears game in this 2021 season. We're going to be highlighting some players whose stocks are on the rise and some players whose stocks are on the come down. With the Bears losing week 1 to the Rams 34-14, it's time to ask whose stocks are rising, whose stocks are falling. Our first stock up is no other than David Montgomery, who had over 100 purpose yards on Sunday night and was absolutely the heart and soul of the offense. I mean, Montgomery's vision and his ability to create opportunities have been incredible. Since he became a Bear, the last Sunday night showed that he is clearly ready to take a step up and is really the most biggest positive thing that I can take away from the Bears offense so far. Another player whose stock is rising right now is Marquise Goodwin. While only limited in his role on offense this past Sunday night, Goodwin looked solid in his route running. He was a target for both Justin Fields and Andy Dalton, and clearly his speed is still there. Now, the Bears failed to throw more than one pass over 15 plus yards, which is a little embarrassing, and we're going to get to more of that with our stocks down. But Goodwin's speed and his ability to create space is going to be huge for the Bears in the next coming weeks. Our last stock up is Jalen Johnson. Pretty much the only positive side of the defense this past Sunday night. Johnson looked good. Pass coverage was good. He was getting into a rhythm. He had a great pass block that ended a potential drive for the Rams that might have ended up being another score for them. A lot of tackles. I mean, Johnson looked everything like he looked last year prior to getting injured again. And if he can take the next step in this Bears defense, he can be a cornerback for this Bears team that they have been longing for since cutting Kyle Fuller. Unfortunately, it's now time to talk about the stocks down. Who are the players / coaches that are just not starting the season off with a high note? And I think Twitter might agree with me on this one, but our first stock down is Eddie Jackson. Man, how the mighty have fallen. Ever since signing his extension a few years back, Eddie Jackson's play has diminished. And I think Sunday night really highlighted that. Missed tackles, poor tackling form. Looked like he was jogging out there. This is not the Eddie Jackson that we know was all pro in 2018. And it's unfortunate because I think a lot of fans really liked Eddie and they continue to support Eddie. But if we don't see his play come up, this is a player that could continue to spiral out of control and a player that the Bears really need to step up on the defense this year. Where's that ball hawk Bojack that we know and love? First stock down, Eddie Jackson. Second stock down, Andy Dalton. Now listen. I'm not saying Andy Dalton was terrible, but if we're really going to look at the quarterback play on Sunday night, not great. The end zone interception was not good, missing open guys consistently. And while obviously there was a couple of series on offense where the Bears looked okay, there was a lot of missed opportunities from Dalton. And again, with only one pass going over 15 yards that ended up being an interception in the beginning of the game, Dalton's play could have been better. And lastly, Matt Nagy. I don't understand Matt Nagy. I don't think any Bears fans can understand what Matt Nagy's doing. The gimmicky play with Justin Fields was frustrating. The attempts to go on 4th and 15 with over 10 minutes left in the game when you're only down by 2 scores. And then to have the route run that didn't even get to the sticks. His inability to call anything consistently on Sunday night. It was a tough showing for the head coach, and his post-game press conferences on Monday and last Sunday were not good and did not instill any confidence. And the McDonald's ad didn't really help either. That was pretty poorly timed, McDonald's. So that is my last stock down. Again, if you guys have some stocks up or stocks down for players that you think should be mentioned, let us know and be sure to tune in next week for our next edition of our stock up, stock down after the Bears take the Bengals next Sunday.